Hey everybody! All right, our objective continues. The same idea. We're going to look at some simple graphs and then we're going to interpret them and talk about how to get information from them, right? And maybe answer some questions. Here we go. Before you do that, always find the title of the graph. That's going to tell you what it's mostly about. Always find the key to the graph. That'll tell you what each one of the symbols represents. And then finally look at the categories and the data and interpret the graph. So remember, you always want to start with those important parts of the graph. Title, key, categories. Okay. I think we've seen that graph enough. We don't really want to answer any questions about that one. Oh, second thing. As you're moving through graphing and starting to make graphs yourself, you're going to want to practice tallies, right? How to read tallies quickly. We did some of these for our quick review today, so hopefully you were focused when you were doing that. Can anyone tell me about the tallies I have right here? Why do you think we group tallies with that cross? So they're fast and easy to count. Every time you wrap up a 5 like that, you can just go 5, 10. You don't have to count the individual sticks. You know that they're all packaged up as a 5. So I already know that's a 5. I don't even have to count it. I just have to count on 6, 7. So we should be very good at tallies. We should be excellent at finding the important parts of the graph. So here's a graph. Let's see what we can find out. First thing, this is items that kids bought at the book fair. So most of these items are things you could find at the book fair. That makes sense. And every circle on this graph stands for one item. So there's nothing really tricky going on here. They bought 3 crayons, right? It's not counting by 2s or counting by 5s. It's straight up one circle, one item. So if you were thinking about Linda here, how many comic books did Linda buy? Answer that question, right? And then was there anything else, right? She bought the same number of blank as coloring books. So when you look at coloring books, is there anything else on the graph that is equal or the same as coloring book? Well, look at this. These two line up perfectly. Binders are the same as coloring books. So there's your answer right there. She bought blank more chapter books than crayons. So this is an interesting one because you're way up here looking at the chapter books. And then you're right here looking at the crayons. Well, we know that the chapter book's longer. But what we don't know is we don't know how much longer. So you really have to find out where they're the same. So I'm going to go ahead and say same, same, same. See these two right here? Those two are how many more, and that's what they're asking. How many more chapter books did they buy than crayons? 2 more. How many items did she buy in all? So that's a big one. You have to count all those and answer this. So really today we're just getting some extra practice with our graphing. Here's another one. Always look at the title. So these are number of stamps that the kids are collecting. So Maya has a stamp collection. Jill's collecting stamps. Each stamp represents 5. So this one is a little bit tricky. This is not 3 stamps for Maya. This is 3 5s. So that altogether would be 15 stamps for Maya. Then you're going to go through and answer most of these questions about the data. Okay? I have a fun math game for you on the next slide. And thanks very much for working with me. Bye now.